Undirected team, how's it going, y'all? I'm glad to have you back. We're about to get into a really deep conversation, one that needs to be had between us, between our audience, between us as a team. All right? So, before we get into it, the big four: like, share, comment, subscribe. We're only as good as the teammate on our left and the teammate on our right. As we get better as a collective, our team gets better. The platform gets better. We all benefit from it. So there's links down below if you want to donate. Also, you can see them on the screen. And, I just really appreciate y'all, team. And the comments and feedback that I get from y'all mean a lot. So definitely chime into this conversation that we are about to have. I don't know. I'm thinking under 30 minutes we should be able to get through this. We'll see how it goes. All right. So, seen the title, seen the thumbnail, and we're going to get right into this article. We're going to start out with the article that was 8 years ago, and that's going to bring us up to modern times. So we're going to go from an article that's 8 years ago, which we're actually going to get to right now. I will take y'all there. And as you can see, this article right here, if I can zoom in on it, was published in December of 2016. Why are women treated differently when they cheat? All right. So this is going to be our first part of this. And then we're going to get into the second part. That's actually going to be a new article that came out just recently that breaks down a lot of numbers and statistics of what is exactly going on. So we're going to get right into it, and we're going to read this article and go through it and see exactly what it is they're trying to figure out. And we'll talk about it as we go through. And look, I just have to tell y'all real quick, this has nothing to do with what's going on as far as what we're about to talk about, but do not buy a Chevy Equinox. You see the advertising there, and advertising does work. Do not buy a Chevy Equinox. Matter of fact, if you're getting ready to buy a car, talk to me first. Send me a message. My email is in the description. I am very good with buying vehicles. I have a very, very extensive history in doing so. And if you look back at some of my old videos, especially live videos, you'll understand that I've been doing car content for quite a long time. So if you ever need any advice as far as vehicles and the purchase of one, talk to me. I'll get you right. But for now, we're going to get into this article, and we're just going to read through it, and we'll comment as we go along. All right? So we are going to start out with, I used to be a person who judged cheaters. And this is a woman writing this article. Do we got her name? Let me just see if I can get her name real quick. Okay. Alyssa Rachel wrote this. It might even be this woman right here on the left. I think it's one of these two might be Alyssa. We're not going to watch that video. It's like 50 minutes and it has no good information in it. All right, so Alyssa Rachels writes this. I used to be that person who judged cheaters, as I never understood how someone could step out on their partner if they truly loved him or her. That was until I got older. Until she got older. All right, let's keep going. Years ago, I was attracted to a colleague who just so happened to be married while I was seeing someone else. Okay. So married and seeing someone else. So you're not in a relationship, basically. You're just seeing someone else. And this person and this man and his wife committed an illegal contract to be with each other. All right, so already she's trying to act like these are two of the same levels as far as what they're doing. No, you're a single woman talking to a married man. But let's keep going. We took part in the same organization, and we would often flirt with each other during certain events, particularly when alcohol was served. Here's the alcohol cop-out. Listen, team, nobody forces alcohol down your throat. So therefore, if you do something while you're drunk or under the influence of alcohol, you are still 100% responsible. Just as responsible you were before you took a sip, like I'm about to do. What's in this cup? Let's just call it orange juice. This is a choice. Now, if I say something on this live stream that I regret, I can't say it's because I was drinking. All right. Let's see. Particularly when alcohol was served. It seemed innocent at first, but guilt rose within me after meeting his incredibly nice and pretty wife. So only then did she feel some guilt. All right. Still, there was no doubt in my mind that if we had ever been completely alone and just slightly inebriated, it would have gone down. Thankfully, we never got anywhere close to that scenario. Still, I have often thought that if it had made that if I let me start over. Still, I have often thought that if it had made such a bad decision, that's what it says. If I have often thought that if it had made such a bad decision, we would have never been caught. If it had, that's what it said. If I had, I think is what she was trying to say. It must be a typo. I don't know. Anyways, if so, what would people think of me? Would his wife stay with him and only hate me? She asked that in the question form, so I'll answer it for her. The wife would stay with him, and the wife would absolutely hate you in every way, shape, and form. She would call you a witch, an evil woman. What's the word that they use? Homewrecker. You'd be called a homewrecker, and yeah, she'd stay with him for sure. Yeah, absolutely. They're married. Their relationship would absolutely be destroyed moving forward, but they'd stay together. And she'd hate you only. I know this from anecdotal experience. Anyways, this is going to be most of the time. Although I have never cheated in any relationship, unless you count that lunch date I had with a guy while dating an ex-boyfriend. See, her words, she uses a lot of word salad. So let's just read this line one more time. Although I have never cheated in any relationship, unless you count that lunch date I had with a guy while dating my ex-boyfriend. Okay, you had a lunch date with a guy while you were dating your boyfriend. You're calling him your ex because you're broke up now, well after the fact, but when you had the lunch date, he was your current boyfriend. Do you just see how manipulative this article is already? This is crazy. I realize that I can no longer be a judge of those who have. Yeah, of course not. I mean, it's already off the rails. You about to cheat with this guy, knowing damn well he would cheat. He would do it. So then you cheated on your ex-boyfriend, let another guy take you out to lunch for what? You didn't say it was for any reason other than just going out on a lunch date. Like, this is crazy. All right, so, okay. Well, I've had many conversations with friends about infidelity, and almost always they mention their husband, boyfriend, or men in general cheating at one time or another. Really? I even have friends who truly believe that all men cheat. Okay. I don't describe to such a notion, and I believe that both men and women are capable of cheating if the space and opportunity presents itself. What I didn't originally believe, however, was that women are cheating more now than ever before. Remember, this is in 2016. All right? She's saying this in 2016. This is before it's become more obvious that women cheat at the same rate as men, but there are more women than men. And it's easier for a woman to cheat than a man. It just is. Like, we can break that down later on, but trust me on that. I'm pretty sure you already know. Pretty sure you already know, team. Interestingly enough, plenty of women are romantically linked to someone other than their spouse. Yeah. Yeah. Always. A study that followed 100 heterosexual married and female respondents aged 35 to 45, that 67% sought affairs due to a longing for more romantic passion, including sex. I wonder why that is. I just want to say this. Women control access to sex. They do. It's that simple. I don't have to elaborate on that at all. Now, I'll get pushed back and they'll say it takes two. Well, women always control if sex happens or not. Always. Unless there is essay involved or grape involved. Those are the only exceptions where women do not, under every circumstance, initiate and complete sex. Every time. While such information tends to surprise people, I wonder if it is the assumption that more men cheat that makes it less of a shock when a man cheats. It's different when a man cheats than when a woman cheats. This is obviously always going to be something where I'll get pushback on. We'll talk about it later. If so, I can only imagine that this is one of the reasons that that women who cheat are deemed side chicks. Are verified like Hester, I don't know who that is, character, completely forgiven by men they are in a relationship with. Vilified. Character not completely forgiven by men that they are in a relationship with. I don't even know what that is, but anyways, let's move on. New hit shows like Insecure and Divorce provide great examples. Such ridicule. It just seems like this isn't written well, or maybe I've been drinking too much. In the case of Insecure, Issa Rae shows us a young woman who attempted to scratch an itch and find somebody and find some passion, cheats on her long-term living boyfriend. Issa Rae wrote in a blog on Entertainment Weekly that a woman cheating is often seen as a huge act of betrayal and describes a time when even film executives told her that audiences don't like lead women characters who cheat. You know, there was a couple things. Actually, let me just get back to that point I said I was going to talk about real quick before you get too far away from it. It's less of a shock when men cheat, and I'm just going to go at it from a biological standpoint, because men we can get 100 women pregnant within maybe 10 days, probably, give or take. We could probably I'll say a month, we can get 100 women pregnant. A woman can only get pregnant once, which tells you that just based off biology, I'm not even talking about all the mental stuff here and all the psychology of it. It just says that men are more inclined to have sex with multiple women. All right. Now, the other thing about it is that women tend to like the top 20% of men, right? So that's why, and when we go into this next article, you're going to see that the numbers actually prove that. The numbers prove it. That women oftentimes have children with multiple baby dads, right? Okay, so a man will have children but he can have 10 baby moms, right? She might have 2 baby dads, 3 baby dads, but they're all going to be with the same man that has like 10 different baby moms. So the multiples of the top 20% of men, they get most of the women. They get 80% of the women. This is just how it breaks down. These are the numbers. I'm not making this up. It is what it is. It's easy to find these stats, and that's how it's always going to be. Because women tend to only want to reproduce with the strongest of men, or the ones with the most resources, or the best looking men, right? Tall, the 6s, 6-packs, over 6 inches or 6 inches, 6 figures, that type of thing. So that's kind of where we get to as far as that goes. And I'm just talking about it from a biological standpoint. I'm not even going to get into everything else now. We will get there in a little bit. Anyways, let's finish this up. So executive, strongly believed that women could not come back from cheating. And I remember thinking how unfair that was. Because I watch shows and movies where women forgive men for cheating all the time, and there's a reason why they do that. There's a reason why they do that. I have had a few friends who have cheated on their husbands or boyfriends, and in all cases, the men left and never turned back. I can't say the same for the female friends who were cheated on. Again, because these women are with the top 20%. So only the top 20% of men can cheat. Women can really, like, honestly, get a man that's in the other 80% and he won't cheat just because he doesn't have the options to, and he probably just doesn't even want to. He's so grateful to have the one woman that he could finally get that he's not going to blow that opportunity. But a man that has abundance and has plenty of options and blame women themselves, you just heard it from this woman herself. What was the first thing she alluded to early in this article that she wrote? What was it? Do you remember? It was a while ago now. How far are we into this? We're 60 minutes in. So the first thing she alluded to was that she was flirting with a married man, with a married woman's husband. She was flirting with a married woman's husband. So you have to put blame on the women as well, as far as them going after the same man, going after married men. Women do not mind sharing as much as they try to make it seem like they do. Now, they probably don't want their man to be with someone else, technically, but they also don't want a man that nobody wants. They all want the same man. It just is what it is. Where, as men, they don't all want the same woman, unless you kind of look at maybe some Hollywood situations, which we're talking about normal people for the most part. But you do see guys like, Ray J and Kanye, and who was the other people that got Kim Kardashian? She's had a plethora of guys. That one stoner dude from SNL, Pete Davidson. Yeah. Let's see. Anyways, infidelity can be detrimental to any relationship, regardless of who's doing the cheating or the reason behind it. So what's with the double standard? All right. Well, let's talk about that a little bit before we get into the second part of this. And well, here's the thing. There is no double standard. There's not. Why? Because the two are not equal. A double standard, if I'm thinking about this correctly, would have to mean that the two are equal, right? But oftentimes in these relationships, there are two different roles in the relationship, and the man plays a role where, as far as the need for one another is significantly in favor of the woman. Like, the woman needs the man more than the man needs the woman. All right? That's basically what I'm trying to break it down to. And because of that, she's more inept to put up with those things. Now, the woman that is single and sees a man with plenty of resources that's married and has a happy family will absolutely want to have that married man. And we just seen it. We just seen it. The woman said it herself. Let me just go back one more time so we're not falling victim to not understanding what's going on as far as what I'm explaining. I'm going to highlight it. Years ago, I was attracted to a colleague who so happened to be married while I was seeing someone else. So, single woman talking to a married man. We took part in the same organization. We would often flirt with each other during certain events, particularly when alcohol was served. She's trying to use alcohol as a crutch. But no, you like this man sober or not sober. Now, it seemed innocent at first, but guilt rose within me after meeting his incredibly nice and pretty wife. That's it. Women are the ones that are approaching and trying to take other women's men. And it's hard for a man to turn down a woman. You can say whatever you want to say, but it's something that I deal with. I make a conscious decision to be faithful. I really do. And it just is what it is. Like, this ain't even to be arrogant or anything like that. And this ain't even about me. But I'm just saying that when I choose to be faithful, or I choose one woman, I am making a conscious decision, and I'm actually avoiding women like potholes in a city street. Okay? Like, I'm literally just like turning down advances, keeping myself out of situations where I can end up in a situation where I cheat, like that married man letting this woman get close to her, and now you're flirting, and next thing you know, if y'all were alone, you'd have her bent over in the hotel bathroom. So anyways, we're going to move on to the second part of this. And this is actually current, okay? So this is current. I didn't want to go there. Oh, I want to go here. Yeah, this is current. So the vast majority of Gen Z are cheating on their partners. This is 8 years later. But the article we just read shows that this has already been going on. These people are just now catching up. I could have told you this a long time ago, actually. But I wasn't doing content like this that long ago. So that's kind of where we're at. Now, we're going to get into this article. Let's see who it was written by. Is it by Suzanne Blake? I'm assuming it's Suzanne Blake. All right. Well, let's read it. Or I'll read it and you can listen. I like getting read to myself personally. So I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. Hold on real quick. Okay, I'm good. All right. Forget Gen Z's problems in the workplace, which is a whole nother issue. A new study shows that the younger generation might have glaring issues in their personal lives. A vast majority have been involved in cheating. Just to break down, let me do this real quick. 1 second. Let me do this real quick. I just want to break down what generations are so we can understand exactly what we're dealing with. Let me see if I can get a good chart for us real quick. Okay, I got a good one right here. I just want to do this because I wanted to show you what our generations are so you can understand the ages of what we're talking about. Because a lot of people might be confused on like what Gen Z, Gen X, Boomer generation, like all of that. So we'll just break it down real quick. The silent generation, we're not talking about them at all. Like they're finished. All right. The baby boom generation, they are our parents. Well, if you're older, they're our parents and they're grandparents now. All right. And they might not even be around anymore at this point. Generation X is gonna be what is that? That's age. No thanks. That's age. Let's see. 80 would be, that would put you at about 47. So they're about 45 to 60. 40. Let's see. 80 and 45. Yeah, they're about 45 to 60. Gen X. So that's like the older generation. All right. And then millennials, they're going to be between the ages of, we'll go 45 to 30, right around there. And then what they're talking about now is Gen Z. So that's 1997, which would be 2007, 2017. So around 20. So they're basically under the age of 30. Under the age of 30 till about 18. Yeah, like they're between the ages of like 17 to 30. So that's the main dating demographic right now. No one's really, millennials are still in there, Generation Y is still in there, but they're kind of starting to fade out. And then Gen Z is kind of the main thing. And then Alpha is basically, you could be born like yesterday and you'll be Generation Alpha. But they're basically like 14 and under. They're basically like 14 and under. All right, so just so we understand that, I just want to show y'all so we got an understanding of what these generations are, because they'll talk about the generations a lot. So, in a new report from datingadvice.com, sounds like a reputable source, surveying 1,000 people in a relationship, 83% said they had been involved in a cheating relation. 83%. 83. That means 9 out of 10 relationships. 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10. Almost all of them. You might as well just call it all of them at that number. That is incredibly high. But the number was much higher in Gen Z at a whopping 93% compared to 80% for millennials. So this is the younger generation. Remember, Gen Z is ages 17 to 30, roughly, okay? Millennials is ages 30 to 45, all right? So, generation expert and HR consultant Brian Driscoll attributed the high numbers to the rise of dating apps as Gen Z entered into their formative years. So that's why you've seen the thumbnail and I had the dating apps there, because they are making it extremely easy to get access to people. I mean, this is how easy it is. This is how easy it is, team. I could right now, like literally right now, I could have a date with a woman within the next 2 hours that I've never met at all. Don't even know who she is. Don't even know this woman exists right now. I could pick up my phone right here, create a dating profile, put up a couple of pictures. Right here. I could do it I could be setting up a date while I'm doing this show right now for y'all. And by the time I end the show, I could be like, hey, you want to meet up? Yes. Meet me over here. Let's go to a bar in Minneapolis. And I'm next to a woman I never met. And we both have the same intentions because we're on the app looking for someone to be with. So that's another thing. And we'll continue to go. But that's for me. Women, they could do it in less than 5 minutes. I probably jumped the gun on 2 hours. It might take me more like 2 days. I ain't gonna lie. It might take me more like 2 days unless I get in a really aggressive woman that really just wants to meet her right away. And that happens. All right, so Gen Z is growing up in an era where tech and social media dominate every aspect of life, including dating. Driscoll told Newsweek, the ubiquity of dating apps creates an illusion of infinite options, making relationships appear disposable. I actually allude to that. I've told that, well, I'll get into it later. Unlike prior generations who had to invest time and effort to meet new people, which what I just said, like usually you had to like go out, meet somebody. Now it's just like pick your phone up, swipe left, swipe right, match. Let's meet up. That simple. For some people. For all women and some men. All right, Gen Z and any generation with a smartphone can find potential partners with a swipe. I've already alluded to that. Tinder, Bumble. Tinder's actually a hookup app, just so you guys know. And Bumble is not far from that. I would go with different sites like maybe like christianmingle.com seem like more, I mean, they're all basically hookup apps, but I'll just say that, you know, there are some that are a little more classy than others as far as these dating apps, because there's apps like, and actually dating apps are weird. Like, I've been on multiple different dating apps, and I've learned that certain dating apps have different dynamics to them. So Bumble's different than Tinder, although you'll see cross-platform posting. Like when you're selling something, let's say you're selling something on Facebook and you're selling something on eBay, but you know, whoever buys it first gets it. So you could be on Hinge, you could be on Tinder, and you could be on Tagged. Tagged is probably one of the most trashy dating websites I've ever seen or dating apps. Plenty of Fish is terrible, hence the name, Plenty of Fish. But yeah, you see different types of people on different apps as far as the demographic. They even have dating apps for celebrities. Simone Biles and Jonathan Owens, if you want to look them up, I actually did a video on them. If you want to scroll way down and find it in my videos, I did a video on Simone Biles and Jonathan Owens, where they actually got a lot of flack because Jonathan Owens said he's the prize. And when he first met Simone Biles, he said he didn't know who she was. But they met on a celebrity dating app, or maybe not exactly celebrity, but you have to have a certain income. So it's basically for high status individuals. So I'm pretty sure you have to verify different things. Like maybe you have to verify your bank account has a certain amount of money in it. You have to have at least $1 million in your bank account to even be on that dating website, which weeds out 99% of people basically, because there's only like 1% of people that make that type of money. So that's how Jonathan Owens and Simone Biles met, and she actually just won a whole bunch of Olympic medals just recently at the Paris Olympics. I've been watching that, and so that just shows that there's different types of dating apps, right? So, and there's some that are just like straight for hookups, like Seeking Arrangements was actually a sugar baby site, but then it got taken off the app stores because it was basically just for pay for play. Escort, basically, an escort app, but not exactly like that, like Backpage was. And some of y'all might not even know what Backpage is, but that used to be basically a prostitution website. You go on there and find women that were advertising sex for sale, and then you would contact them, pay them the amount that they were asking for, and if you were kind of sleazy or you were low life, you would try to lowball them. And yeah, or they'd just be overpriced and you try to come up with something that was fair. But yeah, that was that. So anyways, a little bit of history. I told you we're going to talk through this. Where are we at right now in time? And we're already at 30 minutes. Well, this is probably going to go to about 45 minutes then. We always go over, but we dig into a lot of different things, team. So that's why I really appreciate y'all, because there's not many people that can have the conversations that we have and be able to stay present for it throughout the entire time. That's why this is the best audience, the undirected team. Even among Gen Zers who fear they're being cheated on, many stay silent. Only 22% said they confront their partners about their cheating suspicions compared to 34% of millennials. So Gen Z, they don't confront their partners when they're cheating. However, millennials, they're more open to be like, yo, but that's because they're older. I think that has a lot to do with it. I think the age has a lot to do with it. It would probably go up if you were talking about whoever's older than that. Well, it'd be Gen X, right? Millennials were also more likely to confess their infidelity to their partners at 26% compared to 18% for Gen Z. Among Gen Z cheaters, 20% say they were caught because of carelessness. So millennials are just basically like, look, I don't really give a damn. I banged Ray Ray. What you gonna do about it, ninja? Or, the dude's gonna be like, I really don't care if you leave. You're old. You're washed up. I'd rather be with a Gen Z anyways. So it is what it is. Gen Z ain't gonna care if I cheat. So why would I deal with you and all your complaints? And you're just a depreciating asset as you get older, because you're not taking care of yourself. You're overweight, and I don't want to have to be giving you insulin shots as I get older because I'm taking care of myself and you're not taking care of yourself. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. It's real though. All right. So the study found that many things can lead to a cheating partner getting caught in the act. Roughly 23% of the time, incriminating texts revealed the truth, while unusual card statements exposed 16% of cheating men and 10% of cheating women. Okay. Roughly 23% of the time. Oh, incriminating text. Okay, I got you. So the text is basically like Everybody always keeps their text threads. You always keep the evidence right there. Like, you just have to be able to look back at your text and reread everything that was said. Like, get rid of your text. You want to cheat? Like, stop leaving the evidence right there. I guess. You want to get caught. Dating apps expose cheaters 19% of the time among Gen Z. The apps provide easy access that might make Gen Z's propensity to cheat higher than that of their parents or in their younger years. There's also the influence of social media, which can make me feel like a fear of missing out and wanting validation outside of their relationship. Yeah, it's a mix though. I think it's a character flaw. I understand what social media brings, especially me being on social media as far as a content creator. I engage with people in many different ways. And because of that, I just have way more access to be able to do things that could probably get me in trouble, right? I think as we get older, we understand the consequences of dealing with a whole bunch of different people and how dangerous it can become. And I actually mean dangerous. Like, people think that just like the more people that you engage with, the more likely something can go wrong because people create problems. So, I mean, as you get older, you probably, start to move away from that. But relationships are becoming transactional. They're becoming transactional. Yeah. Similar to the gig economy, where stability and loyalty are undervalued, Driscoll said. The shift reflects a deeper, systematic problem where human connections are secondary due to economic and technological convenience. It is true. It is true. We go to the highest bidder when we work now. There's no loyalty. And there's no loyalty to the employers either. They're always going to try to pay people the least they can. They could pay you more. Your employer could always pay you more. They choose not to. So the blame goes on both sides. It goes on the employer and it goes on the employee. But we do live in a gig economy where, hey, let's just say that you're doing shopping. So you got Shipped, you got Instacart, and you got, what was the other one? It's not Rover. Rover's for pets. Let's just go Amazon Flex. Or Amazon Flex, whatever the food, Amazon Fresh, the food delivery one. So you got those three. You're going to go to the one that's busting more. Look, if Instacart ain't hitting on nothing, I'm going to Ship. So I'm going to have Ship open and I'm going to have Instacart open. If I get a batch from Ship that's paying $79 and all I'm seeing is Instacart and they got all batches for $40, I'm taking the one that's $80. I'm not staying loyal to Instacart when they're going to pay me less than Shipped is. And when Ship starts to fall off and it's a Saturday and Shipped ain't got nothing cracking and they're only showing me low batches but Instacart is going crazy, I'm going to Instacart. Lyft, Uber, same thing. Uber ain't paying well. Uber ain't offering no promotions, no bonuses. No, if I do 5 rides in a row, I get an extra $15. But Lyft is saying, hey, if you give me 10 rides in a row, I'm going to give you a bonus of $60. I'm riding with Lyft. I don't care. Whoever's giving the best, that's who I'm riding with. And that goes with everything. That goes with any gig work. Goes with any gig work. And that's not going to change. And I could get into, what I do as far as work outside of YouTube, but we'll leave that for now. And that's the same thing with what we're dealing with in relationships. So you're hearing a lot of women and not so much men, just because, like I said, there's different dynamics in relationships, but women are saying, hey, I'm not doing struggle love. If another man's willing to take care of me And he might not necessarily love me in the same way that you do. He might not take a bullet for me in the same way that you do. If we're walking down the street and I know that you are going to be wearing some average clothes, and if somebody tries to attack me, you'll put your life on the line to protect me. But I can go out with this guy that's wearing an Armani, a Tom Ford suit, nice gold, nice jewelry, Rolex, and he's gonna take me to the nicest restaurant in town. But if someone tries to attack me, he's gonna make sure he doesn't get his suit dirty, and he's gonna go protect himself and allow me to get assaulted. I'm gonna go with him because love doesn't matter to me. What matters is the economics of it. So I'm going to the highest bidder at the time. And that's a lot of the times where these guys, they understand that dynamic and they can get what they want out of women for the time being. And then they can move on to the next woman when they get tired of that woman. Because whether women want to believe it or not, the most attractive woman to a man is the new woman. It is. Say what you want to say, be angry about it. The more attractive woman is the new one. So that's why women be like, I look way better than that B. You know, that B is ugly as she ugly as hell. She's new. All right. You probably do look better than her, just surface level. And if he met both you at the same time, he wouldn't pick her. But now that he's known you and he's experienced you, he wants the new woman. And that's why for men, it's usually the woman that they can get. And for women, it's the man that they can keep. There's really nothing we can do about that, though. It's not going to change. In totality, there'll always be exceptions, but the majority of the time, they're going with the best financial and economic option. Gen Z previously showed signs that they view cheating in a potential different light than other generations. In a poll conducted in February 2023, exclusively for Newsweek, Gen Z or respondents of ages 18 to 24 were far less likely to tell a friend if they knew their partner was cheating. Just 64% said they would tell a friend, compared to 73% of Gen X and millennials. So they're basically like, I mean, we're all cheating, so why would I tell on you when I could end up getting caught my damn self at some point? Like, pot calling the kettle black, basically, is what they're saying. Gen Z had a different view of what they constituted cheating. According to a 2023 poll, which was recent, in the age group of 43% said that they were cheating, it had to be physical to count, okay? And 48% said non-physical relationships still count as cheating. Oh, Gen Z, okay. Okay, Gen Z saying that 43% said it had to be physical. Okay. In contrast to millennials, who 55% largely believed non-physical relationships count as cheating. So that's interesting because I think as you get older, you understand how easy it is to cheat. It literally takes, like, if you got two people that are on the same page, let's just assume that neither person are lying, right? So let's assume that you got a man that has a wife and you got a wife that has a husband, and they both want to cheat with each other, and they're both well aware that they both have spouses. Well, then cheating becomes easy because you know exactly what you're doing. It's not like the man is acting like he's single and he's cheating with a married woman, or they both acting like they're single. No, they both know exactly what they're doing. So then all it is basically just a physical relationship. They can get all this done in the time that they say it takes them to drive to work. Hey, honey, I'm on my way to work. You know, I got to drive through the mountains. I might not have a cell phone connection. And they meet up with their other half, stop at his apartment, quick sex, quick shower. I'm out. It takes 5 to 30 minutes to have sex. 5 to 30 minutes. Another 15 minutes to freshen up. Make sure you bring the same soap that you use at home so you don't smell different when you get back. And that's it. So Usually it's a little more difficult when one person or both people are lying, because then you have to put more time into it. But if they're both on the same page, very simple. Very simple. And so millennials understand that better than Gen Z. The higher cheating numbers could have negative ramifications. I'm at 45 minutes already. All right, we're going to wrap this up. Oh, it's only a little bit left. All right. This was in contrast to millennials who at 55% largely believe, okay, the higher number, this could lead to greater rates of anxiety, depression, and feelings of isolation. The higher cheating numbers could have negative ramifications as far as trust and commitment. I mean, yeah, that's already there. Nobody trusts anybody anymore. Like, come on, y'all. Like, let's be honest. Like, that's the main saying that we have between each other. I don't trust no one. I don't trust name. I don't trust name. I don't trust nobody. I don't even trust my own mama. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, y'all. Like, and for good reason a lot of the times. Gen Z is also more open about discussing and exploring diverse relationship structures, so more than older generations. While this openness can be positive, it also blurs the lines of traditional non-monogamous commitments, potentially leading to misunderstandings and instances of what might be perceived as cheating. Santak, a marriage family therapist and developer of psychobiological approach to couples therapy. What the hell is that? Said cheating is not the largest problem Gen Z faces, but technology can exacerbate the ways in which cheaters seek out hidden connections. Lack of transparency is the biggest problem because it's not about sex or love affairs. It's also about hidden money, hidden spending, and other ways people feel betrayed because of lack of disclosure. This has been going on forever. The obvious also is technology has made it easier for people to cheat and to get caught. Well, that is true. That is true. Technology has done both. There's actually an app. I don't know how well it works, but I've seen it. It's called Cheating Busters. It's a paid app. I wouldn't buy it, but basically you can go in there and you can put in the information of your cheating spouse or the person that you're with that you believe is cheating. You can put their name in and all that, and you can put like a picture of them up that they probably would use on a dating app. And then it'll actually search across all the dating apps and give you current information if they're on a dating app or not. And then also you can just go on there and look. And just create a fake profile, go on there, see if you see your spouse on there. Probably wouldn't be too difficult to narrow down their location and age, and probably scroll through, a fair amount of profiles to find them on there or not. So, yeah. And it just makes it really easy to cheat. And for some reason, we like having what everybody else has. So with that, that just makes cheating all the more fun and exhilarating because we're taking somebody else's. And that's all. Is that it? I think that's it. All right, let's go on director perspective. We'll go light for this. What do I got? Well, we discussed mostly everything as far as, what the ad was, the article was talking about. So really, it's just this. It just comes down to choice at the end of it. I can speak for myself on this one. I'm not a cheater. I'm just not. And sometimes you're afraid to tell the truth, and I get it. I do know why people cheat. I do understand why, because I put myself in those situations before. Now, people, and here's the other thing. People talk about having I'm loyal. The only way you can be loyal is if you never slept with anybody else ever. The best thing that you can do as far as a relationship, and this is my perspective, and this is how I'm going to break it down for you. The best thing that you can do in a relationship, if you feel like you're going to cheat or you want to break up with that person, is to tell them straight up, directly, and then move on. That's it. Don't backdoor them. Don't be deceptive. Just tell them, look, this ain't going to work out. I can't be with you anymore. We got to break up. That's all you really need to do. Feelings change, and it is what it is. I know in the beginning you told each other you're going to be with each other forever and it's never going to fade, but apparently that's not how our biology works. And that's something that we can't fight against. So either that or you just make the conscious decision not to do it. And I'm very good with making decisions. I know that much. So I will not cheat on anybody ever again. I won't. There'll be two things that'll happen. I will tell the person that I'm with that I'm going to cheat. Well, it wouldn't be cheating at that point because cheating is something that is deceptive and behind the person's back. At that point, it would be telling the person that I'm going to sleep with someone else. And I would give them the option to either be with me or break up. But I mean, pretty much if I was saying that, the only option is to break up because then they're going to be disgruntled, mad, angry, and we're going to break up anyways if that's the case. So I guess it's just more like a matter of when than if. And that's all I really got, team. I'm sorry. I don't really know what else to say. But you seen the article, 93% cheat. That's what it said. So there's 100% chance basically that you're going to be with somebody that's going to cheat. You're going to stay or you're not going to stay. You're going to deal with it, you're not going to deal with it. Is it going to be 1 for 1? You cheated, I get to cheat, now we're good, now we're back even. Were you the first person I ever been with? The only way I think it really works to have a relationship like that is if you both come in as virgins. You both come in as virgins. Never was with anybody ever before. First person that you've ever had a physical, sexual relationship with. That's it. Then I guess it makes sense. But if you've been with somebody before somebody, then all it tells you is that you don't value relationships in the way that you say. And the same thing that you told that person that you broke up with, it's the same thing you're telling me now. So what makes me any different? Nothing. It's just my time. So that's pretty much it. What do y'all got for this, team? If you made it this far, definitely let me know. I thought this was a really interesting conversation to have. And if you like this content, feel free to let me know and I'll do more like it. And I'll try to keep within the time limit next time. I went 22 minutes over, but hopefully it was good content. So anyways, I'm out of here. I appreciate y'all, team. Maildotsale out. I need to go have a conversation with somebody. I'm about to have a conversation right now with somebody.